Congrats if you traded BSLK today, Bolt Projects Holdings. The stock ran 303%. We ended the day at $1.23. 273 million shares traded when we typically see just 10 million shares traded. I will anticipate the sell signal to appear on Friday. Obviously, the market ended and it didn't get triggered, but I turned on the buy and sell bots just so that you guys could see what was happening. We are at resistance, and the next level I will anticipate us to hit and then start to crack will be $1.32. But by the end of Friday, which is, let me stretch this out just a little bit more, right there. By the end of the day, could we reach possibly $1.43 and then start cracking? Maybe. But to the south side, $1.15, another level of support, and if we hit this line, I may anticipate a bounce off of this line as we hit support on the way down, and the middle of the trend where the price tends to hover, the average price here tends to follow this middle of the line here, and if we go sideways, I've marked it out going this way. And to the south side of that, at another level of support and a potential buy-in area, 0.3062, 0.1321, and okay, that's not even realistic. Okay, the 52-week low is 0.2266, and the 52-week high, $17.02, a massive fall from grace when we're only at $1.23. If you flip this over onto the daily, you'll see that it's turning out to be like a huge, possibly a U-shaped recovery. But note here, you can see that this stock was just going sideways, basing, consolidating. And as I've mentioned many times in the past, when you see that, you can typically expect a massive explosion to the upside, and that's what happened. It can obviously crack, but usually that's what happens. But just because I want you to see something, oops, let me hit escape. There we go. On the daily, it looks like we could be seeing something like that. That remains to be seen in the big picture. And look at that, on the daily, already overextended. This thing is going to crack to the downside. So watch out for the rug pull coming up, because no ticker continues to run after hitting 300%. Not going to happen. At least to go down to consolidate again for the next leg up. But this thing is such a tiny ticker that analysts are not covering it. So I have no forecast for you there, just possibly on the hour. Let me see. Oh, look at that. Look how, oops, how overextended we are here. Yeah, and overextended here. So on many time frames, this thing is going to crack. Now, the next one I want to go over is PayPal. Let me first flip this back to the 5. We ended the day at $76.59. Let me go over some targets for you. Thank you to Trader Murat for pointing this out. He messaged me and said he thinks that PayPal is a buying opportunity. The forecast is between $90 and $120. The RSI on the daily time frame has hit the bottom, and same for Tesla. So I want to go over both of those. So right here, 76.59, up only 0.42%. The 52-week low, $56. The 52-week high, $93. and volume 9 million shares traded, almost 10, and the average is 11, so we're down slightly. 76.82 for one target for Friday. This is on the 5. 77.45 and 78.06 to the south side. The middle of the trend, if we go sideways, takes us to 75.56. If we go down, I will anticipate a bounce off this line or just following the middle of the trend there. For the average price, that's what this middle line is, the mean. All right, 74.34, 73.72, and another level of support and a potential buy-in area, 73.12. And also a stop loss area for some people. Depends on what side of the line you bought in at. Now looking left, what did the bot tell you? This is your sell signal. This is resistance, another level of resistance, and another level of resistance up here. We don't always get to that level, and then the bot signal activates. So that's perfectly what I expect to line up with here. Sometimes you don't get it, as I mentioned, but right here, that is your buying opportunity. And then it bounced off that. Clear buy signal. If we are up against here from down there, this is resistance. Now, I have not looked at PayPal in a very long time, so let's flip this over to the daily. I mean, I look at it for myself, but I have not done a video for this. Okay, so Marat says the RSI has hit the bottom. There we go. This pink line has, I marked this out on the monthly for myself. So I will show you that in a moment. But this looks good here on the RSI. 30 is the official line for being oversold, which means it's cheaper. And I know this is hard to see, so ignore all of the horizontal lines. Let me try this again without move that over. Let me grab this. This is where we are, 76.59. The next leg up to the middle of the trend takes us back to a spot we've already been to with PayPal because we cracked. It fell hard, fell from grace. So that will take us back to 85.71, fingers crossed. And to the south side, well, right here is one level, 74.91 and 69.42. I'm sure many people will be scooping it up if we get to this level. As far as the gaps go, I do like to do that on the same time frame, but since I'm here, I'll just extend this one out. This opened up on September 19 of 2024, so that is still in play to the downside at 73.19. While I'm here, I'm just going to change this. And then we have other gaps not in the channel of -2 and 2 standard deviations, just something to be aware of. And then we have something to the downside here. Oh, this is when we tanked, beat fourth quarter earnings and sales estimates, and said total payment volume rose 7% in the quarter while payment transactions decreased 3%. That was my phone. Oh, right here. All right. Oh, this one closed. Okay. I've cleaned up this ticker, I think, pretty well on the 5-minute time frame. But, oh, I just see something. Oops. Option R. All right, here's something to look forward to the upside. So that will take us 77.92 at the bottom of the channel, and this one closed out, so I will clean that one up. So we gapped up, so I anticipate it to fill. If you like to go short, you just wait for it to eventually go down, and it did. They like to close out 77.36, so congrats there if you played a shorthand. And this one was a tiny little gap that already opened and closed, and yeah, that was a micro one. Don't bother wasting your time marking them out. The deviations will close it out for you. All right, that touched precisely on February the 4th. That's, when did we have earnings? Yeah, the 4th. So the company reported 8.37 billion. The estimate was 8.26 billion. And here's the earnings. And what's going on up here? Let me move this. So this is a gap to the upside that we can look forward to. And this gap already closed right when this gap opened up, and that closed out on February 3rd, taking us down to 84.10, and then we cracked some more. Look at that. And then the clear buy signal. If you don't pay for TradingView and you are only limited to a few indicators, this is perhaps a good one to have, the buy and sell bot signal, if you need a little more help or confirmation. So here we gapped down. So this is actually supposed to be in green for myself, meaning it's a gap to the upside when it fills. And intuitively, I know that too. See, we went down, so that means we will fill to the upside. So that took us to 90.14. Oh yeah, I have not cleaned this up in a very long time. So we gapped up for this one, and then we closed to the downside on January 23rd. That took us down to 89.08. And look at this little bugger here. That did not touch here, but it touched right there on the 28th, taking us all the way down to 87.21-ish. All right. Oh, and this one took us to the upside, and that took us to 87.83. These are support and resistance lines, and I am in this trade, and I still own my shares at, oh, I don't know, in the pink lines I sold out a long time ago for $64.94 and 70.20 it looks like too. I've got to go back and look at my account, but I know I'm up on this one. But I bought in a long time ago. What the heck? Yeah, I need to go back up. So I've sold out of here and sold out of here. And where am I? 15. I think I still own some at 58.50. But 58.55. I have some for my mom too, I guess. Yeah, I have to go back and look at this because now I'm curious, where the heck did I buy in? Because I know I'm up big time with this one. Okay, that's it. Let's go to Tesla. So we're at 355.94, up 5.77%. Here are some targets for Friday: 364.31, 373.94, and 383.66. 344.78, 325.15, 315.81 and 305.83. So we are at, well, the sell signal has been triggered, but there's room to go up to this level even. We are overextended here on the 5, so I anticipate it to go down and then go back up again. But oh, we have a gap to the downside, right here. So we gapped up, so this will take us to the south side, unfortunately, at 337.56. So this is at resistance according to the bot, but I like to play it up here more. But that will take us down to 337.56, as I just mentioned, and clear support here. This is your buy line here as well. And we have a gap to the upside. That will take us to 391.36-ish. And this gap closed. It's a tiny one. Like, I didn't even bother, shouldn't even bother. Touched right there. That took us up to 377.20. Then this one, okay, well, yeah, it's been forever since I looked at this. So this gap touched. Where did we hit? Right there on February 6th, taking us down to 370. That is no longer a threat to our account to the south side. Delete. That's closed and done. Okay, and that opened up on Friday, December 6th. I marked it out. This one from December 5th also closed. Wow, that's a long time since I've looked at this. I own Tesla as well. And then this gap right here, you can see closed. I'm up on this one as well. This touched right there. So that closed out on the 10th of February, taking us down to roughly 358.07. Yeah, we want all these to close out so it doesn't haunt us. Why do I have this? Oh, do I own this at 343 as well? I don't know. Okay, this one is done. Right here, and I'm going to turn this to a different red so I can, yeah, I think I own this at 343. And do I own this at 3? No, I don't think. I have to go through and mark mine out. Yeah, because I am up, I know, on this one. And this gap to the downside is still a threat to our account. And that takes us down to 322. Yikes. And then what about this one? I know I bought in the 150s for Tesla and then also in the 300s. Let's turn this. Okay. And now I'm going to take this to the daily. Okay, ignore all that. When I was tracking this for my gap and go trades, this is how many weeks it took to fill specific gaps I was looking at and tracing. All right, what are we doing on the RSI? So when he talked to me about this on Wednesday, we had just Tuesday, we hit the bottom there and started to rock and roll. So that looks great. You got to be on this. So many tickers to trade. that I cannot keep up with it all. So I appreciate the comments. Then it makes me go and look at tickers either I haven't looked at in a long time or new ones I've never tracked before, and that's kind of fun too. Okay, so we started to crack on the monthly. Didn't quite hit that official line, close enough. And then still bleeding out on the weekly, but on the daily, we're looking good. So clearly it gives you different buy and sell signals depending what time frames you play. So apparently, look at this. I still own the shares that I bought back in 2020 at 112.25, 137.61, and 165.90. Then I bought some here at 222.62, 230.98. I know I traded this for my sister as well, made her some Louis money. And yeah, she went and bought a bag with, I think, with the money I helped her make her. And I think I own this for my mom too, but I don't know. I think it's just myself. All right, what else do I want to look at? Oh, the one I want to look at now is Palo Alto. So when I looked at this just for price only, we were at 167.82 on January, and it's only February, a month later. What a nice return there. But since I'm on the daily, I'll give you the targets. We did have earnings on Thursday, so you'll be watching this video on Friday and later. But on Thursday, they reported 2.26 billion, the estimate 2.24 billion, and earnings per share they beat. Very nice. All right, so to the north side, 215.08. To the south side, 190.35. That's all I'm going to give you because that's way down here and we're not there. We're slowly going back up. This ticker has been beaten up before. Oh yeah, and Marat, where's this? Oh, I moved. Oh shoot, I don't see, my thingy got wonky here. Let me just hit. Okay, that way I reset this, so hopefully I didn't ruin this. Okay, so Marat made a comment, and he said, oh shoot, so you have to grab this thing at a certain spot. Even if price drops, he sees a higher forward PE, 51 now, prefers CLS, okay, over AVGO and Palo Alto. But we did have a run. I've got to go back and look at these. And I know that he has looked at this way back when it was cheaper. So, you know, when it got more expensive, he changed his mind about Palo Alto, because obviously we've traded this for so long, or looked at it. I didn't trade it, but he made comments about this a long time ago, I believe. But this gap closed, and all right, now let's take it back to the 5. Oh, we're getting overextended on the daily, so watch out for that. We're almost there at that official line. Okay, on the 5-minute. So we're overextended. Look, we're starting to crack already. Anytime you hit this critical area, know that it's going to crack. Yes, it could crack to go down, then to go back up for another leg for consolidation and basing. We've got a gap, oops, to the downside. Just want to do that and then move this up. Moving farther away, we're going up. But this is just something to be aware of when we reverse course again. So a target level, 202.77, 204.35. The middle of the trend, oh, here it is. Where are my little drawing toolbox here? Right, we're at 198.04. Let me mark out this thing. 201.88, 194.77, 193.23, and 191.69. This gap to the downside takes us to 190.99, closing out at roughly 187.62. Note the clear buy signal because this is support, 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 or a potential stop loss area. Clear sell signal, your radar should be going off unless, of course, you're just buying, holding, looking the other way, and letting it ride. That's a whole different strategy. I'm just giving you price targets for the next day, what to expect. This gap closed out. This just hit my level that I mark out, my levels that I mark out to the side. So we busted through. Sometimes it becomes a support line like there. And from here to here, this is resistance. So we hit the resistance line here. Not always on cue, but sometimes close enough. Your huge sell lines. All right, that does it for me. That is a look at Bslk, PayPal, Tesla, and Panw, Palo Alto. Have a great trading day.